Have you ever wondered if something as simple as sitting down on the floor and standing back up without using your hands could predict how long you'll live? What if I told you that scientists around the world have studied this exact movement, and your score might actually reveal more about your future than your last medical checkup? Today we're diving into a test so simple, yet so revealing, it's now being called the longevity test. And no, this isn't some gimmick or TikTok trend. It's grounded in real science. And if you're over the age of 50, what you're about to hear might change how you approach every single day of your life. But here's the real kicker. Most people fail it. And not because they're lazy, but because of one overlooked truth we're going to reveal near the end of this video. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates from our source for proven senior health guidance. Let's get into it. The sit and rise test, also known as SRT, was first introduced by Brazilian physician Dr. Claudio Gil Araujo. It's a deceptively simple task. Sit on the floor, then rise back to a standing position, all without using your hands, knees, or arms for support. Sounds easy, right? Well, here's the twist. It's not. And how well you perform this task may predict your risk of dying in the next 6 years. Let that sink in. The beauty of this test lies in its simplicity. No fancy equipment, no doctors or labs, just you, your body, and the ground beneath you. But behind this simplicity is a profound truth. Your ability to control your body, your mobility, balance, strength, and coordination is one of the most powerful indicators of your longevity. Let me explain why. As we age, it's not just about how long we live, but how well we move through those years. Most people think of aging in terms of gray hair, wrinkles, or slower reflexes. But the real story happens deep inside our muscles, our joints, and our nervous system. That's where aging either accelerates or slows down. The sit and rise test is like a snapshot of your body's aging process in real time. When you attempt it, your brain must communicate with your muscles quickly and precisely. Your legs need the strength to lower and lift your weight. Your core must stay engaged to keep you balanced, and your joints need to move smoothly to allow all of that to happen. In one simple motion, you're testing almost every element of physical aging without even realizing it. Now let's talk about how to actually perform the test. Find a quiet space with a firm floor, no soft carpets. Take off your shoes. Stand upright. Cross one leg in front of the other and slowly lower yourself into a sitting position on the floor. Remember, you're not allowed to use your hands, arms, knees, or any other part of your body to help you. Once you're seated, take a moment, and then try to rise back up using only your legs. No pushing off the ground, no grabbing your thigh, just pure control. Now here comes the scoring. You start with a perfect 10 points. You lose a point each time you use your hand, forearm, knee, or side of the leg to assist you. If you lose balance at any point, that's a half point off. So if you lower yourself to the floor using one hand and rise using both your hand and your knee, you just lost 3 points. That would give you a score of 7, but what does that score mean? In one of the largest studies ever done on this test, researchers followed over 2,000 adults between the ages of 51 and 80 for more than 6 years. What they found was stunning. People who scored less than 8 points were twice as likely to die in the next 6 years compared to those who scored 8 or higher, and those who scored 3 or less. They were more than 5 times as likely to die, all from a test that takes less than a minute. Let's pause for a second here. This isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to wake you up. Because this isn't about perfection, it's about awareness. The sit and rise test isn't a final judgment. It's a mirror. And if your score isn't where you want it to be, the good news is you can change it. So why do people fail this test? It's not because they're out of shape in the way most people think. You could have decent endurance, even strength, but still score low. That's because the test doesn't just measure muscle power. It's measuring how your entire body works together. You need balance, which declines with age unless you train it. You need flexibility in your hips and ankles, which most people neglect. You need coordination, which fades when your nervous system isn't challenged enough. And you need core stability, something very few people train intentionally. And here's the real twist. Many people who think they're healthy actually fail the test. They go to the gym, walk on the treadmill, maybe do a little yoga here and there, but they've lost that full body control that the sit and rise test exposes. It's like pulling back the curtain. You might feel fine, but your body, deep down, knows otherwise. That's why athletes who retire and stop training often lose this ability within a few years. Their muscle mass might still look good on the outside, but the coordination fades quickly. Meanwhile, older adults who train balance and mobility, who challenge themselves with small but consistent movements, often surprise themselves with how easily they pass. So here's what you can do right now. Pause this video and try the sit and rise test yourself. Don't cheat. Be honest. See what your score is. And then come back, because we're going to break down how to improve that score and possibly add years to your life in the process. If you found this eye-opening so far, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We release videos every week from our source for proven senior health guidance. You don't want to miss what's coming next, because the second half of this video will explain how to train your body to boost your score, strengthen your joints, and prevent falls, the #1 cause of injury-related death in people over 65. And remember, the twist at the end might just challenge everything you thought you knew about aging. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we've been talking about a deceptively simple but incredibly powerful method for predicting your longevity: the sit and rise test. And if you've already tried it, you probably have a deeper appreciation for just how much your body is telling you without saying a word. But now comes the most important part: what to do with that information. Let's get one thing clear. Your score on this test is not a final sentence. It's a starting point. Whether you got a 10 or barely managed a 3, what matters most is what you do next. Because movement is medicine. And the good news is, your body can adapt far more than you think at any age. To improve your sit and rise score, we have to focus on 4 major pillars: mobility, balance, strength, and coordination. And these pillars don't require hours in the gym or fancy equipment. In fact, many of the most effective exercises can be done in your living room, barefoot, just like the test itself. Let's start with mobility. If you struggled to sit down without losing your balance or had to place a hand on the floor, it could be due to tight hips, locked up ankles, or poor spinal alignment. These issues don't appear overnight. They come from years of sitting too much, moving too little, and not challenging your joints in their full range of motion. One simple way to regain mobility is to spend just a few minutes a day in a deep squat position. You don't need to go all the way down at first. Just lower yourself as far as you comfortably can, hold for 30 seconds, and come back up. Over time, this opens your hips, stretches your calves, and forces your body to relearn that essential movement pattern. Next, balance. Most people think balance is something you're born with or lose with age. But the truth is, it's a skill, just like playing an instrument. And it can be trained. Try standing on one foot while brushing your teeth. Switch feet halfway through. As that becomes easy, close your eyes. Balance training not only helps your sit and rise performance, it prevents the kind of falls that cause serious injury later in life. Now let's talk strength. This isn't about how much you can bench press or squat with a barbell. This is about real-world strength, the kind that helps you get up from the floor, carry groceries, or walk upstairs without effort. To improve your test score, focus on leg strength first. Simple body weight squats done slowly with control are incredibly effective. If that's too difficult, start with sit-to-stands from a sturdy chair. The key is progression, not perfection. But perhaps the most overlooked component is coordination. Coordination is your brain's ability to communicate clearly with your muscles. It's how you go from thinking about moving to actually doing it smoothly and efficiently. If you wobbled or stumbled during the test, this might be the missing piece. A great way to improve coordination is to train with mindful movements. That means no distractions, no rushing. Practice lowering yourself into a seated position on the floor as slowly as possible. Feel every muscle activate. Notice where you lose control, then reverse the movement. Do it every day. Within weeks, you'll feel a change, not just in your body, but in your confidence. And that confidence is key, because something remarkable happens when people start to regain control over their bodies. Their mindset shifts. They stop fearing aging and start engaging with it. They stop asking, "How long will I live?" and begin asking, "How well can I live?" Let's not ignore what's happening beneath the surface either. The sit and rise test isn't just about the muscles and joints. It's also a reflection of your metabolic and cardiovascular health. People with better flexibility and muscular control tend to have lower inflammation, better blood sugar regulation, and healthier heart function. So when you improve your score, you're not just moving better, you're living better. Now let me tell you a story. There was a 74-year-old woman named Clara. She'd been active most of her life, but after retiring and undergoing hip surgery, she stopped moving as much. When she first heard about the sit and rise test, she laughed it off. "At my age," she said, "no way." But her granddaughter convinced her to try. Clara scored a 4. She was shocked. It didn't feel like she was that unfit. But that moment changed something in her. She realized her independence wasn't guaranteed. That same week, she began doing basic mobility and balance drills every morning. She started getting up from the floor without using her hands. She didn't wait for a gym membership or a personal trainer. She just used her own living room. 3 months later, she tried the test again. She scored a 7. And more than the number, it was how she felt. Strong, centered, balanced. She said it felt like she had reversed time by 5 years. And at her next checkup, her doctor told her she'd improved her cholesterol and blood pressure too. You see, passing the longevity test isn't about impressing anyone. It's about investing in your future self. Your ability to get up off the floor may one day mean the difference between staying independent or needing assistance, between bouncing back from a fall or staying down. And now for the twist. You might think the goal is to pass the test and get a perfect 10. But what if the real goal is to keep testing yourself over and over for the rest of your life? You see, longevity isn't a finish line. It's not a test you pass once and forget. It's a practice. It's built into the small decisions you make every day, whether to stretch or skip it, whether to take the stairs or the elevator, whether to sit with awareness or slump into the couch. The sit and rise test is just a mirror, and sometimes mirrors don't flatter us. But that's okay, because what you see in the mirror isn't your destiny, it's your baseline. From there, you can rise, literally. So I challenge you, don't just take the test, train for it. Track your progress. Invite your friends and family to try it too. Turn it into something joyful. Celebrate every point gained, every wobble reduced, every moment of control you reclaim. And the next time you sit down and rise back up without thinking, remember what it represents. Not just strength or balance, but a commitment to yourself. And if you're looking for more ways to reclaim your health, strengthen your body, and challenge the myths of aging, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. We bring you weekly content straight from our source for proven senior health guidance, with real tools, real stories, and real science to help you live fully, not just longer. Because here's the truth, no one tells you. Longevity isn't about the years in your life, it's about the life in your years. So take the test, and then take action. Because the best chapters of your life might still be waiting to be written, and they begin with a single step, or sit and rise. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and remember, you have more control over your health than you've ever been told.